It's not lying. It's not cheating. It's not even stealing. And yet, this one simple action is silently shaping your destiny every single day. Most people do it without even realizing it, and it creates the most dangerous kind of karma. I am speaking of something so subtle, so ordinary, that it often escapes our awareness. But in the eyes of the great spiritual masters, it is one of the most powerful forces shaping your life, the way you think about others in the silence of your own mind. You see, your thoughts are not just private murmurs locked inside your head. They are living vibrations, waves of energy that move through the universe. Every thought you send, whether of love or of criticism, goes out like an arrow, touches the one it is directed toward, and then returns to you, carrying the same energy you sent. And here is the hidden danger: if you harm someone with your words or actions, you may do it once. But in your thoughts, you can harm them hundreds of times a day, without speaking a word. This is the silent trap of thought karma. We smile politely, but in our minds, we may be judging, envying, mocking, or condemning. And while others may not hear our thoughts, the universe does. The law of vibration works without pause. Whatever energy you send, you will receive. This is why so many souls remain bound in cycles of negativity without knowing why, because they are creating karma in their own minds every moment. Today, let us go deeper into this mystery. I will show you why this hidden habit binds you more tightly than any outward sin, and how to break free, so your thoughts become blessings, and your life reflects their light. If you harm someone with your hands, you may do it once in a lifetime. If you speak harshly, perhaps it happens a few times. But with your thoughts, you can harm someone hundreds of times a day, without lifting a finger or uttering a single word. This is why thought karma is the most dangerous form of karma. It operates silently, invisibly, and yet it binds you more tightly than any chain of iron. When you hold on to anger, judgment, or envy in your mind, you are not only sending those vibrations outward, you are also bathing yourself in them. Every negative thought you direct toward another person leaves an imprint on your own consciousness. And because thoughts are energy, they travel outward, touch the other person's energy field, and then return to you, magnified. You may think you are only thinking about them, but in truth, you are creating an invisible thread that ties your soul to theirs. And if that thread is made of anger, jealousy, or bitterness, you are binding yourself to those very emotions. The most dangerous part of thought karma is that it often hides behind a mask of harmlessness. You may appear calm on the outside, you may even speak kindly, but if your inner world is filled with silent criticism and condemnation, the karmic effects are already in motion. Over time, these repeated thought patterns shape your destiny, attracting experiences that match the vibrations you send. This is why the saints teach, guard your mind even more carefully than your tongue. For the tongue may harm occasionally, but the mind, if left unchecked, can harm constantly. And each silent harm is a seed planted in the soil of your own life, seeds that will one day bear fruit. Many people think of karma as something that comes only from big actions, great acts of kindness or great acts of harm. They imagine it as something earned by dramatic choices, saving a life or destroying one. But in truth, the most powerful karma is not born from grand events. It is created quietly, in the smallest actions of daily life, repeated over and over until they become the invisible thread weaving the fabric of your destiny. And there is one such action most people do without realizing: the way you think about others. It might seem harmless because it happens in the privacy of your own mind. But your thoughts are not silent to the universe. They are living vibrations, subtle currents of energy that radiate outward from you every moment. Each thought you send, whether it is loving or unkind, travels into the unseen world, touches the person it is directed toward, and then returns to you carrying the same quality you sent out. If you think with love, you invite love to return. If you think with bitterness, you invite bitterness into your own life. And because these thoughts repeat so often, sometimes hundreds of times a day, they can create far more karma than your outward actions ever could. This is why the ancient masters have said, "As you think, so shall you become." The mind is not a private chamber. It is a broadcasting station, sending your inner state into the great field of life. And life, like a perfect mirror, reflects it back to you. In this way, every thought is a seed. And each day, you are planting a garden that you will one day walk through. The question is, will it be filled with flowers or thorns? Your mind is like a powerful broadcasting station, constantly sending signals into the vast field of the universe. Every thought you create carries a vibration, just as every musical note carries a sound. And just as a radio tunes to a certain frequency, your mind tunes to the frequency of the thoughts you repeat most often. This is the law of vibration, and it works whether you believe in it or not. When you think unkind thoughts, you are tuning yourself to a frequency of unkindness. Soon, you will find that this same vibration echoes back into your life, through situations, people, and events that match what you have been sending out. When you think thoughts of joy, gratitude, and kindness, you tune to a higher frequency, and those energies are drawn to you in return. The universe is always listening, not only to the words you speak aloud, but also to the whispers of your heart. This is where many people get trapped. Outwardly, they may speak politely, act kindly, and appear gentle. But inwardly, in the silent theater of their thoughts, they may be cursing, envying, or judging others. And the universe responds not to the mask you wear, but to the energy you truly emit. Think of it like planting seeds. The soil does not care if you meant to plant roses or weeds, it will grow whatever you place within it. In the same way, the law of vibration does not judge your intention, it simply reflects your energy back to you. This is why saints and sages insist on purity of mind as well as purity of speech. For when your inner broadcast is filled with harmony, love, and compassion, your outer world will begin to mirror that harmony back to you in ways that seem almost miraculous. How can you tell if you are creating harmful thought karma? The truth is, it often hides so well that we become blind to it. But there are gentle questions you can ask yourself, questions that reveal the subtle patterns of the mind. Do you find yourself mentally replaying the mistakes of others, even long after the event has passed? Each time you do, you breathe life into that memory and send the same vibration out again. Do you feel a quiet satisfaction when someone you secretly dislike faces difficulty or failure? That small spark of pleasure is a seed of suffering that you are planting for yourself. Do you often compare yourself to others, either feeling jealous of their success or superior to their struggles? Both envy and pride are threads in the same net, binding you to the very emotions you wish to escape. Harmful thought patterns are like shadows, you may not notice them at first, but they follow you everywhere. The danger is that they are not occasional, they can be constant, running like a background current in your mind while you go about your day. And with every silent judgment or unkind thought, you are tying yourself to the vibration you send. The saints have taught that the mind is both the greatest friend and the greatest enemy of the soul. If left unguarded, it can create storms in your life without a single outward act. But when carefully watched, it becomes the very tool that lifts you toward freedom. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to change. Once you see them clearly, you will have the choice to stop feeding them, and to replace them with thoughts that heal rather than harm. The beautiful truth, dear one, is that the cure for harmful thought karma is simple, so simple, in fact, that the ego will often dismiss it. The moment you become aware of an unkind thought arising in your mind, you can stop it. You are not a prisoner to your thinking. In that very instant, you have the power to transform it into something that will bless both you and the person you are thinking about. If someone has hurt you, instead of replaying the wound, silently wish them peace. If they are lost in ignorance, wish them wisdom. If they are suffering, wish them healing. You do not have to agree with their actions, but you can choose to send them light instead of darkness. This is not weakness, this is the highest form of spiritual strength. With practice, this becomes a habit. At first, you may catch yourself only after sending out a dozen harmful thoughts. But with gentle awareness, you will begin to notice them sooner, until eventually, you see them the moment they arise. And each time you replace a dark thought with a blessing, you are not only changing your karma, you are rewiring your own mind. Over time, the inner landscape of your thoughts will change. The weeds of judgment and resentment will wither, and in their place, flowers of compassion will bloom. And because the universe reflects back what you send, your outer life will also begin to change. People will respond differently to you. Opportunities will open. Peace will become your natural state. The power is in your hands, or rather, in your thoughts. Choose light, and light will choose you. The great saints and masters have always known a truth that most of the world overlooks. Mastery over your speech is good, but mastery over your thoughts is divine. Controlling the tongue prevents you from harming others outwardly, but controlling the mind frees you from harming yourself inwardly. This is why the highest spiritual work is often silent and unseen. It happens within your own consciousness. When you choose to live as a silent well-wisher of all, even those who misunderstand you or wish you harm, you release yourself from the invisible chains that bind most souls. These chains are woven from resentment, judgment, envy, and fear. The moment you stop sending these vibrations out into the universe, the threads begin to dissolve, and your spirit becomes light. It does not mean you must approve of wrong actions or stay in harmful situations. It simply means that you refuse to poison your own heart by dwelling in negativity. You recognize that every thought is a seed, and you choose to plant only those that will bear the fruits of peace, freedom, and joy. This is the greatest secret of the masters. When you live in a state of unconditional goodwill, the universe itself becomes your ally. The situations you once feared lose their power over you. People who once seemed like enemies fade from your life or transform before your eyes. And in place of inner conflict, there is a deep and unshakable stillness. When your mind becomes a sanctuary of light, no darkness can touch you. This is not a distant dream, it is a choice you can make in this very moment. Begin now, and you will discover that the path to liberation is not somewhere outside you. It begins in the garden of your own thoughts. So now, dear friend, we arrive at the most important question of all, the one only you can answer. What thoughts will you choose today? Will you send arrows or will you send flowers? Will you continue planting the seeds of worry, judgment, and resentment, or will you begin to plant seeds of peace, love, and compassion? Remember, the karma you create in the unseen world of your thoughts is not hidden. It shapes your feelings, your relationships, your opportunities, and even your health. The thoughts you choose today are the world you will live in tomorrow. Every moment is an opportunity to begin again, to choose a higher vibration, to bless instead of curse, to uplift instead of pull down. And the miracle is, you do not need permission from anyone. The power is already in your hands, or rather, in your mind. From this moment onward, you can become a conscious creator of your destiny. The next time an unkind thought arises, stop for just one breath. In that breath, remember this truth: whatever I send out will return to me. Then choose to send something better. Wish peace to those who hurt you. Wish success to those who compete with you. Wish healing to those who have wronged you. In doing so, you release yourself from the very chains that bind you. I invite you now to reflect deeply. What is one harmful thought pattern you are willing to let go of starting today? Write it in the comments below, not just for me to see, but as a promise to your own soul. And while you are there, tell me, what topic would you like me to speak on next? Your questions and curiosities shape the wisdom we share here together. If these words have touched you, please share this video with someone you care about. You never know how far a single blessing can travel. And if you are walking this path with me, make sure you stay connected, because together, we are creating not just better lives, but better worlds. Until we meet again, keep your thoughts pure, your heart open, and your spirit free. Jai Gurudev.